everyone, it's Marian and welcome to Marisa's Life. I've been getting questions and requests to give updates on the pothos propagations that I've did in previous videos, as well on some of the houseplants that I have also propagated and repotted. So I'm going to share some of them with you today. I don't think I'm going to get to them all because it's quite a bit. I might do a part 2 instead. But I've also done a quick update in my IGTV, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But this one is going to be a little bit more in-depth than the one that I did for my IGTV, and I'm also going to announce the winner of my giveaway later on in this video, so keep on watching. So let's go over the ones that I featured in my Pothos Propagation 101 video, where I showed you different ways to propagate your pothos aside from water and using different mediums such as cocoa coir, sphagnum moss, and perlite. And the very first one that I could show you is the Synaptis pictus, which I believe was propagating in all three mediums, if not just the sphagnum moss and the perlite. I've repotted all of them since those videos, and I'm sorry I didn't get to film a lot of that process, but I could show you what they look like now after I repotted them. So the first one is this one, is a Synaptis pictus. This one I believe was propagating in the perlite, and I have repotted this in this cocoa coir potting mix. This is cocoa coir and planktone and a bit of perlite, and most of the propagations survived after I repotting it. There's a little bit of leaf burn because this was in a south facing window, but the other one is this one. Then this one fared pretty well, but as you can see, there is a yellowing leaf over here and some leaf burn over here. There's two things that happened. One, I did put it out in a south facing window. I've also left some of this outside when the weather is still not very warm, so they spent like nights where it's like 40 degrees, sometimes below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which was my bad. As some of you may know, I also do outdoor gardening, and I sprayed baking soda solution on my tomato plants, and some of them got sprayed on some of my pothos, which also caused some of the leaf damage, which it happened with my Philodendron Brazil and also my Manjula Pathos, which I could show you in a little bit too. But that's what happened there. But as far as them propagating and transitioning to soil, they did pretty well if I just continued to take care of them a little bit better. But as you can see, this one did pretty well. And this one would have done as well too if I didn't leave them outside overnight during cold weather and also didn't accidentally spray baking soda solution on them. But not all of the cuttings of the Synaptis pictus did propagate. Synaptis pictus, well, Synapsis in general takes forever to propagate in comparison to philodendrons and epipremnums, so I'm not really surprised that it took that long, but it's kind of frustrating to wait that long for something to propagate. So in the future, I'm probably gonna not propagate my synapses as much just because it takes forever, and some of them don't actually do survive the propagation process. Like the ones that I've been propagating in water, they didn't really survive. I had to compost those. But the ones that were propagating in perlite but didn't grow roots yet are still in this one, and this one is still in perlite. I put it in a white ceramic container this time because when I had it in a clear glass container, I've been having fungus gnats infestation lately. I'm pretty sure most of you are, because it's that time of the year. So if you see a lot of fungus gnats flying around, I apologize. But I did put this in a white ceramic pot this time because when it was in a clear glass container, light was getting through it and algae was forming. So with it being in a white ceramic container, I hope this time it would prevent it from forming algae. And as you can see, some of the leaves, because this has been propagating for close to 3 months now, and this hasn't grown roots at all. And as you can see, some of them are still doing pretty okay, but some are dying out, like this one, or this might just be leaf burn too. Also got hit with some of the baking soda spray. As you can see, there's like white stuff on it that I haven't probably washed off the leaves yet, but so far it's been doing well. The next one I'm going to show you is the Sebou blue pothos, which has been propagating in sphagnum moss. I have repotted it into regular potting mix as well, and this is what it looks like now. By the way, the ones that I'm showing you as far as my pothos, these are also the pothos that the winner of my giveaway can choose from. So any of the pothos propagations that I'm showing you is up for grabs for the winner to choose from. So this is the Sebou blue pothos. It had a couple of yellowing leaves if you've seen in my previous videos, I think in my spring plant tour that I showed you. but I cut those off, and so far it's been doing well now that I have transferred it into potting soil. This one is the neon pothos that has been propagating in water, but this one already had extensive roots even while it was in water, because I took it out of the mother plant and I just put it in water then because I didn't have potting mix yet. But once I got potting mix, I repotted it and it has been doing well so far. It also had a couple of yellowing leaves. Cut it off since, but now it's doing pretty well and there's actually new growth coming out. So this is the mother plant. It still looks very substantial in front of the camera, but it actually lost a lot of leaves because after I repotted this into this terracotta pot, it had a lot of yellowing leaves, and I suspect that's because I might have overfed it with the plant zone. I put a little bit too much. There was a lot of yellowing leaves. I cut it off, but it has bounced back or adjusted to the new soil mix it has since, and it's been doing pretty well. But yeah, so when you are repotting your plants and adding fertilizers into your potting mix, just like I mentioned in my fertilizing plants 101 video, just be mindful of the amount of fertilizers that you put or give to your plants, especially as we are just transitioning from not fertilizing them over the winter season to fertilizing them again into the growing season. And this is the mother plant of the Sebou blue pothos. I've also repotted it into a terracotta pot. This one didn't suffer much damage like the neon pothos did after I repotted it, but I've also want this to grow up because I've noticed the new leaves that have been growing has starting to become smaller and smaller. So hopefully by like trellising it up, the new leaves will grow bigger. And right now I've just kind of DIY'd a trellis for it. This is pretty much the plant hangers that you get when we buy plants from garden centers that are hanging. I usually save those plant hangers. I don't throw them away. So what I did, I just cut off the part that's like the hanger part, cut it off and use the handles to trellis my Sebou Pothos, which I also did for my Syndactys pictus, which I'm gonna show you next. So this one is my Syndactys pictus exotica, aka the silver splash pothos. If you remember from my unboxing video of this is a very large plant. It was very overcrowded in this pot. So what I did is I separated them into several smaller plants, and this is what is currently hanging on my green wall over here. So as you can see, this part is full, but if you look at the back, it's pretty empty because this is the side that is facing the wall. So I purposely didn't put any plants on this side and just make sure that they're all pretty much facing forward like this, so that all the plants would be growing downwards like this. So this is what it looks right now. And this is another one that I trellised like I did with the Sebou blue pothos, and this is what it looks like. So this one is trailing a little bit more. That's why I was able to trellis it. But this is another one that I repotted in a terracotta pot that hasn't trellised yet. And this one is currently in my sister's bedroom. Once I have a chance to get another Wally Eco planter, kind of like the one where I previously had my Philodendron Brazil, now it's holding my Hoya Crimson Princess, I would likely recombine all these tree plants again into that planter and hanging up on my wall, but we will see. I think what I'm going to do is at least let maybe this one grow outside, because I've noticed also the new growth, the leaves are not as big. So hopefully if I let it grow outside and trellis it up, it would continue to grow larger leaves and not have smaller leaves like this, because you see this one is kind of like a bit small compared to the other ones that are very large. And I also have like a couple cuttings here. These are rooted cuttings that I also took from the mother plant that I repotted, and whoever's the winner of the giveaway will be getting this one along with the Monstera stiltepicana. I still can't pronounce the correct name of that monstera, but they'll be getting this one as well, and another pothos of their choice. So the winner of the giveaway will be getting 3 plants in total: the Monstera stiltepicana, this one, and another Pothos Propagation or cutting of their choice. All right, so over here I have the Philodendron Brazil in the heartlip philodendron that I was also propagating. I think some of it in water and some of it in coco coir. Honestly, I lost track or can't remember at this point. But oh, this one was the one that I've been propagating in that container with the coco coir mix, and I've sealed it in that in the salad plastic container that I upcycled. So this is the one that I've repotted since from that. Here's another one. This one is not faring as well. It does have some dried leaves too, but I think this is also the one that got sprayed with a baking soda solution accidentally. So a lot of the leaves are burnt, but the rest are still looking pretty well, so I'm still keeping it. And hopefully when it grows new leaves, I could get rid of the ones that are damaged. Taking a bit of a break from the Pothos propagation, this is my Hoya kerrii propagation. So if you remember from my 3 ways to propagate Hoya kerrii, which is also pretty much the same 3 ways that I showed in my Pothos propagation video, perlite, coco coir, and sphagnum moss. So all of those propagations, since I already have sold, so I don't have them. This is the ones that left, but this is the one is the single leaf cutting. This one doesn't have any stem on it. So this one will not grow any new leaves, but it did grow a lot of roots, if you can see from over here. But I don't know if this will actually survive because I feel like this leaf is starting to yellow, but I can't really tell. So I don't know if it will actually survive for a long time, but so far it did grow a lot of roots while in the sphagnum moss. I said that I wasn't going to propagate from a Marble Queen Pothos, but when I also repotted it into a terracotta pot, these are the extra cuttings that I took out before I repotted it. I think I posted the repotting of that either in my TikTok or in my IG, but these are the ones that are not very highly variegated Marble Queen Pothos. So this is kind of looking a lot more like golden pothos than Marble Queen, but if you look very closely, it is still Marble Queen, which brings me to my Manjula Pathos. I've been getting not a lot, but quite a few questions on my Manjula Pathos because they say that Manjula Pathos is supposed to have white variegation, not yellow, lime, or chartreuse. So they think that the Manjula that I have is actually a Marble Queen. But like I've said in my 22 Pothos varieties video, discerning between Manjula and Marble Queen Pothos, don't pay much attention to the type of variegation because their variegation is pretty much the same. You have to pay attention to the shape of the leaf. So this is that Manjula Pathos that people think is a Marble Queen Pothos because it's not very variegated and it doesn't have a lot of white variegation in it. But the way that I can tell that this is still a Manjula Pathos is through the shape of the leaves, which is more spade-like and wider compared to a Marble Queen Pothos that has a more narrow heart-shaped leaf. So that's where you really tell the difference between a Marble Queen and a Manjula Pothos. But like I said in that 22 varieties Pothos video, if you can't keep up with the conditions our variegated pothos need in order to keep their white variegation, whether it's the Snow Queen, the Marble Queen, the Manjula, or the mythical Harlequin Pothos, they're all just going to end up looking the same. So this Manjula Pothos, I've actually repotted it like I did with Syndaptus Pictus Exotica. So I broke it up into different plants. So this is kind of like the main plant from that Manjula Pothos. And this one has the larger leaves, but this is also the ones that are not very highly variegated. So this is the Manjula Pothos. This is also part of the original mother plant, but this one has a lot more white variegation in it. Also this one. So these are like the Manjula Pothos that the winner of the giveaway can choose from if they want a Manjula Pothos. But I get what people are saying when they say that they don't think my Manjula Pothos is not a Manjula Pothos because it's not very variegated. Maybe a month ago or so, I got this one, which is the Manjula Pothos, which I also did a repotting video on. So this one has a lot more white variegation in it, but as you can see with the problem with the white variegation, and with this one I already took out a lot of the leaves that are purely white because they burn so easily. But this is a Manjula Pothos that's a little bit more variegated than my original Manjula Pothos. But here's another one that is probably more consistent with the Manjula Pothos most of you would recognize. And this is a pretty large one. I've got this maybe a couple weeks back from Home Depot. I'm the person who does the supply run in my house, and I did have to go to Home Depot at one time. I haven't been to Home Depot or Lowe's in a long time, but I did have to go one time for a supply run. I stopped by their garden center and found this. So this is a Manjula Pathos that is probably more consistent to the type of Manjula Pathos most of you would recognize. That's probably a lot easier to identify in comparison to a Marble Queen Pothos because this has a lot more white variegation in it that is kind of like the distinctive characteristic of the Manjula Pathos. But as you can see over here in the lower parts of it, and mostly in the new growth and in the ends of the vines, you can see that the white part of this Manjula Pathos is not as white. It's also starting to become a little bit yellow, and I don't know if that's because those are new leaves. In time it will become a whiter, or it's just going to be like that. But either way, I don't really care. I think this is very pretty. I love Manjula Pathos. As you can see, this is my third purchase of a Manjula Pathos. This is the only plant that I have bought duplicates, not once, not twice, but 3 times. So I really love this plant. And as you can see from this one, even though the top part has a lot of white variegation in it, the ones at the bottoms already have like slightly more chartreuse and lime colored variegation instead of the white parts. But I don't really care. I like it either way. And one thing that I do like about the variegation that's not purely white, they don't die off as easily and they stay on a little bit longer, because the white variegation, like I said, like with this one, see, I had to cut it off the other day because it already burned or starting to die out. But yeah, so this is my newest addition. So this one I believe is the newest addition to my Pothos collection, even though I already had a Manjula Pathos before, but this is my latest one. I'm sorry if you're hearing any background noise in my video. I'm wearing my microphone. Hopefully it's only picking up the sound from my voice, but I really can't tell until I play back this video. But we're all in quarantine, everybody's at home, so it's really impossible right now to have a completely quiet space to film. So if you hear any background noise, like my dog barking, music, people talking, I apologize. But yeah, going on. So I think I covered most of the Pothos propagation that I've did. If I missed anything, I am sorry. I'll just do another update video maybe sometime in the future, because a lot of my plants do move around and change around, especially as we head to the growing season. Like I did my spring plant tour, and honestly, thank you so much to everyone who watched that and subscribed to my channel through that video. But at the same time, a lot has changed since posting that video, as far as me styling my plants, or where are those plants now. A lot of the plants that in those video are already gone, have rehomed, but also a lot, not a lot, but a few plants have joined my plant collection as well. So if there's a need for me or desire from you all for me to do another plant update video, I'll be very happy to do so. I think the last one that I'm going to update on you guys before I pick the winner of my giveaway is my Monstera deliciosa, which I did several cuttings to propagate. And I also had like nodes from the mother plant that I wanted to grow. The cuttings that I propagated and potted up, all of those have been sold already, so I can't show them to you right now. But what I can show you is the nodes that has roots in them that I was trying to grow. So this one, as you can see, is already like showing a couple of new growth, which is amazing. At first I had it covered in plastic bag to give it humidity, but then later on I took it out because there's actually 2 of this that I potted in the same size nursery pot, and that one, I don't know if it's because of too much humidity or what, that one rotted off. Usually humidity is good when it comes to propagating plants, but maybe because it's only a single node, that didn't really help the process. But this one is doing pretty well, and I could show you the mother plant right now. All right, so over here is the mother plant. I've moved it closer to my south-facing window. It used to be in that corner over there, but right now it doesn't have any plants on it. I have other plants for that corner, which I'll show in a future video. But going back to this one, so this one's been doing pretty well. It adjusted pretty okay with being repotted. So there's only 2 plants in this one instead of, was it 5 or 6 originally? And it's actually shooting up a new growth over here, so I can't wait for that one. I think this one is going to be fenestrated too. I really can't tell yet, but either way, I'm glad that it has starting to grow new leaves already, and I'm excited for this to grow big as well. Alright, so I've showed this in my TikTok, but I'm going to quick sweep of my room just so you can see some of the changes that I already did. So, and yep. And up there is my Hoya Crimson Princess. I got this at the same time that I got my latest Manjula Pathos. I took out the Philodendron Brazil and I repotted them, and they're hanging outside now. And the Crimson Princess is in that Wally Eco Grow, which I hope to get another one for my Syndaptus Pictus Exotica, which is hanging there right now. And my string of pearls, my other Manjula Pathos, my Syndaptus Pictus is over there. And this is my Tresor. I have the pink Syngonium repotted. This one originally had a Peperomia Pixie, but that needs to be upgraded. So I put the pink Syngonium Propagation in here. And this is the mother plant. I also repotted it into the terracotta pot. And my Hoya Carrii, the mother plant, it still hasn't grown any new leaves yet, but it has started to grow a new stem. So hopefully that would produce a new leaf soon. And my Fittonia is down there. I haven't done anything with its propagations yet. I really need to repot it already. And this is the Monstera Styltypicana that the giveaway winner is going to get. Oh, I forgot about this, but this is the reverted Manjula Pathos from my water experiment. I have repotted most of them all together over here. There's still a couple that haven't propagated yet. If they haven't propagated yet, I don't think they will, but I'm still keeping them in water just in case. But right now all of them has been repotted all together in that one, and hopefully it would turn into something like this with a golden pothos. So my goal is for both of them to trail down. That would be amazing if that actually happens. And this is my plant shelf redecorated. That's the Peperomia Pixie that I put in a terracotta pot that's getting too large for that ceramic watering can planter. This Syndaptus Pictus that I showed you earlier that's still propagating in perlite. My Monstera Styltypicana. This is my Hoya Hinderope that I have propagated to directly in soil, and it propagated really well. I'm very happy about this one. And this is my Peperomia obstifolia that was originally 3. I separated them into 3 different plants, and one of them is over here. The other 2 is in my sister's room. The Manjula Pathos that I showed you earlier. And this is my Marble Queen Pothos. I've repotted it in this terracotta pot, and it's hanging up here right now. And down over here is my Hoya Crimson Queen, which has been growing like bananas. I'm so very happy about this Hoya Crimson Queen. And what I love about it is the pink leaves last pretty long. It doesn't turn white immediately. This has been pink like this for over a month now, and I'm so happy about it. And a lot of new growth too, which is kind of amazing. I mean, if you don't know it, like this suffered heavily from mealybugs, but you can't really tell with how much it's been growing since. So I'm really happy about this Hoya Crimson Queen. Over here above my bed, I'm sorry I haven't made my bed, but really, who still makes their bed nowadays? I finally did what I say I was going to do, is to put 2 plants on the other side of that mirror. If I could zoom in a little bit. And that is the Enjoy Pothos. I created a planter for them, which I'm going to show you in an upcoming video, because I also did get a request on how I make my DIY planters. So basically, I repotted my Enjoy Pothos, split it into 2, and put it into these 2 planters that I DIY'd. And over here is my spider plant that is hanging from the basket that was originally in that corner. So let's go ahead and pick the winner of my Monstera Styltypicana and Pothos giveaway. So all of the entries are in this container, and those who also follow me on Instagram and on TikTok have additional entries that are in here as well. So let's go pick the winner right now. All right, I'm not looking. All right, and the winner is over here, Elizabeth Patterson. So congratulations, Elizabeth. I believe you gave me your Instagram. I'll be messaging you on Instagram to let you know that you're a winner, and we can exchange information then, so I can send you your prize, and as well let me know which pothos you choose. So you will be getting this Monstera stiltepecana, and you'll be getting this one. I might have to repot it though into a smaller container just to lessen the shipping costs, and a pothos of your choice from any of the pothos propagation that I've shown in this video. But yeah, so thank you so much to everyone who entered. I really appreciate all of you. I think as of right now, I have over 700 subscribers. I'm getting really close to 1K, which is a huge milestone for any YouTubers. So once I reach the 1K mark as well, I'll be doing another giveaway. But I also want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, Abigail Greeno. She entered this giveaway as well, and she really went above and beyond in participating in this giveaway. She followed me on Instagram, gave me a shout out on Instagram, followed me on TikTok and everything. And just to show my appreciation to you, Abigail, you can also pick one of the Pothos propagations that I have here, and we're happy to send you one just as a thank you, just a token of gratitude and appreciation for the support that you've been showing my channel and my Instagram and TikTok. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so Elizabeth, I'll be contacting you on Instagram, and also Abigail, I'll be reaching out to you via Instagram. So be sure to check your DMs after you watch this video. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, I hope you subscribe. I come up with houseplants and sustainable lifestyle videos every week. And if you haven't yet, go check out these videos for me until my next one. But until then, I see you. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself and each other, and have a plentiful day. Bye.